Hi friends, I'm here on Ben Yehuda Street in the heart of Jerusalem. There's a lot of cities in Israel that have a Ben Yehuda Street. So who is Eliezer ben Yehuda? He was the father of modern Hebrew. And today, more and more people, Jews and non-Jews, Christians, are interested in studying Hebrew and biblical Hebrew in order to understand the Bible in its original language. Now, what is the difference between biblical Hebrew and modern Hebrew? Biblical Hebrew, of course, was not only the language that the Jewish people spoke at the time, but we believe it's the Lashon HaKodesh. It's the holy language in which God created the earth, the heavens and the earth, that He gave over the Torah. In the Lashon HaKodesh, the holy language, the language of Hebrew. When God said, "Let there be light," He said it in Hebrew. When God said, "I am the Lord your God," in the Ten Commandments, He said that in Hebrew as well. Biblical Hebrew is the language of the Bible, of all of the books of the Bible. We're all, in the Hebrew Bible, we're all written in Hebrew. And it was the language of the Israelite kingdom until our exile. And then Hebrew was no longer spoken after the destruction of the temple, and the Jewish people were sent into exile. It was no longer used on a day-to-day basis. The Hebrew language as a spoken language was forgotten until modern times. Modern times in the 19th century, when the Jewish people started to return to the land of Israel, Eliezer ben Yehuda wrote the first Hebrew dictionary. He lived, by the way, from the 1850s until 1922, and he died just 26 years before the founding of the State of Israel. But already he was obsessed with revitalizing the Hebrew language in order for there to be a unity amongst the Jewish people who had returned here. You had Jews from all over the world, from Poland, from Russia, from America, from Yemen, from Morocco, and they needed a way to communicate. Eliezer ben Yehuda said that our way of unifying this people is going to be by speaking the language of our Torah, the language of our Bible, the language of Hebrew. And however, the Bible didn't have all of the words that they needed for a modern society. They needed words like electricity. They needed words like ice cream. They needed all kinds of modern words. He looked into the Bible whenever he could, and he brought about the revitalization of biblical Hebrew with a modern twist, and that's known as modern Hebrew. And friends, that never happened before at any point in history, that a dead language was revitalized, and it was always predicted. It was predicted long ago in the Bible. There's a prophecy in Zephaniah, chapter 3, verse 9. I'm reading from my Israel Bible here in Jerusalem. He says like this, the prophet says, "Then I will make the people pure of speech so that they will all invoke Hashem by name and serve Him with one accord. Ki az hapoch el amim safa birura likro kulam b'shem Adonai la'avdo shechem achad." I will bring a purity of speech, which our sages tell us that means that in the end of days, when there is a renewed interest in the land of Israel, and there is a return of the people of Israel to the land of Israel, everybody will start to learn the Safa Berura, the pure language, the language of biblical Hebrew. Now you know the difference between modern Hebrew and biblical Hebrew. If you have any questions, you can email me at Rabbi Tuli at Israel365.com. If you like these videos, just subscribe to our YouTube channel. Shalom from Ben Yehuda Street.